weird on the Roku channel. I kind of watched it as a lark. I didn't really like seek it out. I had seen some previews. I was moderately interested, but I think I waited a week or two after it came out because I wasn't really all that hyped about it.
You've never really been a Weird Al fan.
I have not, and you are a Weird Al fan, aren't you?
I am.
Have you actually been to a concert?
Oh, yes. Yes, I have been to a Weird Al concert. It's a lot of fun. What I really love about him, I think, is his durability. How the hell is he still famous? His 15 minutes were up in 1983.
I can think back to fourth grade when Eat It was a thing. I remember hearing about it from one of my students, and I think his name was Jermaine, and I think he had a little bitty, tiny fourth grade Michael Jackson orange Beat It jacket.
Awesome.
And he told me about Eat It, and he loved it, and that was the first time. And I think before we even knew he was Weird Al, we were calling him, like, Crazy Harry or something like that. Like, yeah.
Because he had crazy hair?
Well, no, just, it's like he couldn't remember his name, and he's like, this guy Crazy Harry is all this, that, and the other thing, and I, like, tried to, like, remember, okay, Crazy Harry, this sounds fun, I'm gonna get this. So, yeah, he definitely has durability like a mofo, more so than everyone else ever.
He just put this movie out. I mean, how long has this man's career been going on just for, like, goofing around? It's bizarre.
It is.
It's fascinating.
Radcliffe as the lead, I thought that was great. Loved him in it.
He was very good in it, yes. The only time I didn't buy him as Weird Al is when he had his shirt off.
Yeah, he was way too in shape.
Yeah, you are too built to be Weird Al. Weird Al does not sport pecs.
Radcliffe is still a very tiny, tiny little dude, yet he is jacked like a motherfucker. Which, in the last, like, maybe 3 weeks, I actually heard, I don't even recall the source, but I heard somebody saying that Daniel Radcliffe was insistent that he will not be playing Logan in the next upcoming X-Men.
Oh, he totally should.
So there's been enough, like, shit floated out there that he has routinely asked about whether or not he'll be playing Wolverine. Then I see him with his shirt off on stage, and I'm like, oh, fuck, he's going to be Wolverine. Nobody gets in that good of shape for no reason.
He's 5'3" and he's ripped. Oh, my God.
He, as an actor, to me, is much like Robert Pattinson in that both of them had their, Harry Potter and their Twilight, and neither of them. Actually, Robert Pattinson had both Harry Potter and Twilight because he was Cedric Diggory. But both of them haven't been out there trying to get, like, in the latest Marvel movie or in the latest Fast and Furious. Both of them have been doing their own thing kind of at their own pace, and they're not, like, scrabbling to stay relevant. They're just kind of being awesome actors.
Yeah. They actually have talent and they're using it.
Yeah, you can tell they're interested in doing, like, creative things that interest them rather than trying to, like, pay the bills or trying to. Radcliffe, since Harry Potter, have not seen him in that many things. One of the things I saw him in, I was incredulous that he was in this role. He was playing an undercover cop infiltrating skinheads. When I saw the blurb for the movie and I was trying to decide whether or not to watch it, I was like, oh, really? I don't buy this for a fucking second. Then I watched it and I thought it was just goddamn awesome. He did such a good job. I think we both like Radcliffe, right? He does a good job.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He is one of the best actors working nowadays.
Go, Harry Potter.
He takes really out there roles,
yeah.
Which I've heard in an interview. He basically said it's wonderful that he's made all of his money when he was a child and now he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah. He's actually saved his money. Good for him.
And so he gets experimental. And everything you see from him is going to be different from whatever you've seen before.
The thing about being one of those actors who, we'll call them maybe like don't give a fuck actors because, they got fuck you money, so they don't really have to, scrabble to meet the bills or whatever. One of the downsides of being that kind of actor is, at least from my perspective, is I don't usually see everything they're in. There's a lot of Robert Pattinson movies that I missed. Radcliffe, if I pulled up his IMDb right now, he would have like a dozen movies in the last 10 years, and I'd maybe seen like 2 of them. So he does a lot of obscure things that don't really like float across my radar. That's one of the things about, having fuck you money and having a career like that. So I'm happy to see him again, and I'm glad he was in this. It being on the Roku channel, fuck. All right.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Brave choice. I hope they muster up a shit ton of money, because why else would he be on something on the Roku channel unless they were like making their play? They're like, we're going to become a producing studio.
Or it was just a complete accident. I'm assuming it's more of a YouTube Red getting Cobra Kai kind of thing.
Yeah, that leaps to mind. Crackle has had a couple of originals that have been really good. So yeah, I like when I see like a little upstart do something like that and it does so damn well. So good for Roku. Plus, I have a Roku TV. I've had one for years. I love a Roku. I'm a big Roku fan.
They work great. Plus, they're cheap.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be seeing more stuff. Do you think Weird Al would have a hard time shopping this script around? I think most people would throw money at him, right?
You'd think. Weird Al wants a meeting with you. You're going to go. You're doing that. I'm wondering if perhaps Weird Al didn't originate this project.
I don't know enough about it. I didn't research it, but I had the feeling the fact that he was in it and the fact that it just seems like his sense of humor, I think it's 90% him. My knowledge of the movie going in was it was going to be a Weird Al biopic, and that's all. I'd seen a couple of previews, but the previews really don't tell you what the movie's actually like.
Going into it, I was working under the assumption it was going to be a lot like Private Parts from Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Kind of with some funny bits, but mostly a serious movie about what went on in his life.
I like to say that we are in a post-walk hard world where you can't get away with the silly formulaic biopic of the musician. But that's not true at all. Walk Hard came out, and yet still we have Queen, Freddie Mercury's movie.
Rocket Man, and yeah.
Yeah, so Walk Hard, you'd think it would, like, shame these people and to stop making these goddamn formulaic biopics. But no, they're still doing it. And maybe they've upped their game a little bit because, you know, Rocket Man was pretty good and Bohemian Rhapsody was pretty good.
I really liked Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury.
He's a good actor, and it was well casted, and you know the material you're working from. It's not like it's fucking Richie Valens. I mean, it was Queen. You know, I'm good with Queen.
It was fun to watch, but it wasn't groundbreaking. It wasn't exciting. It was just there.
So, despite the best efforts of Walk Hard, they're still making the formulaic Hollywood biopic musician thing. I kind of thought going into this movie that we were going to be getting a taste of that as well. So I was, you know, didn't expect much, didn't have high hopes for the movie. At what point did you start getting suspicious that there was, you know, something diverging from that script?
What point? Maybe the Hey Boy? Like it was a thing. Nobody on Earth has ever heard of a Hey Boy before.
Is that a thing? Did we somehow miss out on our childhood of the Hey Boy?
I'm afraid we found your son at a polka party.
That's impossible. Alfie's in...
A Hey Boy? Really?
The Hey Boy. I love how that came back later in the movie.
Yes, they brought the Hey Boy back.
Es un Hey Boy.
When the dad was beating the living shit out of Thomas Lennon, the salesman, I'm watching it and I'm like, this couldn't possibly, what the fuck? That's when I started getting some inkling of, wait, shit's kind of going off the rails in this scene a little bit. They're laying it on really thick here. I guess my whole thing about the movie was, it was a parody of a parody of a parody or something like that. It was like an Inception level parody of.
It was, yeah, just like what he does with his music.
I guess I would say that it was masterfully paced, not scene to scene and event to event. I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about the unveiling of how absurd the movie was going to end up being. They rolled that out slowly and over time, and they built it up and built it up and built it up. And much like a plot, you know, has its big climax and its crescendo, the parody aspect of it, I went into it having no idea it was going to be like that. And then I started kind of getting a hint of it, and then it started getting a little bit more absurd. And then it gets to a point where it's like, I pause the movie and I'm Googling, you know, did Weird Al date Madonna? You know, and then by the end of it, Madonna's a fucking like evil eye patch villain.
Yes, that was just amazing. I have a couple of problems with the movie, and there's a couple of directions I think they should have gone in that they didn't. Problem one, the girl from Westworld playing Madonna.
Evan Rachel Wood.
She wasn't trying that hard to do Madonna. She just was Evan Rachel Wood dressed as Madonna, but otherwise just acting like herself. There was no fake accent or anything.
I get starry-eyed when I see her, so I might not have been judging her appropriately in like a critical form. I just really like to see her on screen doing whatever.
At least throw an accent on there or something.
But she had the belly shirt on, and she was like dancing while Weird Al was like.
She popped on the Madonna outfit and called it a day. She didn't try any harder than that. So.
All right, that's fair.
Item number 2, my biggest problem, and maybe this is out of respect or something, but there was no Michael Jackson anywhere in this. Weird Al is most closely tied musically to Michael Jackson. His biggest hits have been parodies of Michael Jackson stuff, and they mentioned him several times. They should have had a throwdown, maybe on the same exact set they shot the Fat video in or something. That felt like a missed opportunity that I was kind of waiting the whole movie for that to happen, and it never happened.
If you want to see what a Michael Jackson fight would look like, have you ever seen Eddie Griffin's Undercover Brother?
Can't say as I have. I just wanted to see Weird Al take a swing at him and Michael Jackson moonwalk back out of the way.
I don't think I had realized in my evolution as, you know, I'm watching this movie and my dawning awareness of just how absurd they were going to be getting. Started talking about how Eat It was just.
What song are you parodying here?
This song is completely original.
Wait, you wrote the words and the music?
That's right.
And then he got so pissed off when he found out that Michael Jackson came out with Beat It.
Michael Jackson just released a new single called Beat It. It's a parody of Eat It.
And the world's full of idiots who are going to think he came up with this first.
When they had the party at his house.
Oh, when he busts out with Another One Rides the Bus.
I know hit talent when I see it, and this kid ain't it.
That was just such an epic scene.
Yeah. And did you notice Conan O'Brien playing Andy Warhol?
I didn't know it was Conan O'Brien till later.
Conan was there. Wolfman Jack, the whole, you know.
Jack Black as Wolfman Jack was just awesome. He just played the perfect Wolfman Jack.
That was probably the best scene of the movie.
If it's so great, how about it comes up with a new parody song right now on the spot?
It was so fucking epic. There's no way you can do this. You can't do this off the cuff. You're just a pretender. Then he busts out the accordion. Oh, my God.
Riding in the bus on the boulevard, and the place was pretty packed. I couldn't find a seat, so I had to stand.
That's what I watch movies for.
Weird gets the big thumbs up from us, right?
Absolutely. That was a hugely breath of fresh air. It's been so long since there's been an actual comedy. I think we're all kind of thirsting for something like that. And oh my God, it was just wonderful to see it.
I would rather watch Weird than Schindler's List, Shine starring Jeffrey Rush. I'm naming like Oscar contenders and winners that I either never saw or didn't give a shit about. The Weight of Water. What was the water one where the girl and
The Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. Yeah, I'd rather watch Weird than that. When I mentioned it to you texting, you said it was the second best movie of the year. I'm kind of curious what the first was.
Well, first was clearly RRR.
Oh, okay. American cinema. This is your best movie of the year.
American cinema, best movie of the year, yes.
Now, it does benefit from not having that much competition because everything sucks nowadays. Everything sucks.
That's true. Nothing is funny anymore. And it was so refreshing to see something that was actually funny.